Do tell. This is long, so settle in with a drink. You'll want a hard drink and some popcorn. My loss is your gain. I don't have a drink. I don't drink while I'm working. I'm sorry.
Beer, 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 beer.
But one thing that I've learned is I can actually enjoy things sober. Been sober for about a month now. It's kind of nice.
I'm so fun, I promise.
I'm gonna start by saying I don't care if I'm the a-hole or not. This isn't that post. Okay, go off, queen. We love a self-aware queen. Remember, we can be a-holes. Sometimes we need to be the a-hole in someone else's story. My 27 female and my husband, 32 male, we'll call him Matt, had a great relationship when we were dating. It wasn't until I met his parents, specifically mother, that I had a small idea of what I was getting into. When we would see his mom, she would make little comments about what I was wearing. That just doesn't look quite right on you, dear. Or have you tried to find that in a bigger size? Although before we could leave the house, Matt always said I looked great. He would still reply to her that it wasn't his favorite look on me either.
Yeah, I don't like that. She doesn't look very good, does she? Yeah, I love you, Mom.
Lots of red flags that I ignored, believing they were no big deal. Fast forward to after our wedding. We had bought a beautiful house. I have an amazing job that I love, and the bonus to it is I was pulling 6 figures with it. Ooh, love that for you. Yes, successful queen. The house was bought under my name because his credit was horrible. He didn't like that, did he? The little negging that's going on, trying to knock you down a peg a bit. I see what's going on here. Matt was working as well, but wasn't making half of what I was bringing home. But it never bothered me. Well, it doesn't bother you. They don't like it, though. Kind of hurts their ego a bit. I don't think his parents knew where our money was coming from, though. All they saw was our gorgeous home and assumed he was the main breadwinner. That's interesting that his mom was so willing to, like, criticize you and, like, also didn't know that you were the main breadwinner. I don't know if she would have been so quick to criticize if she knew the full story. I kept hearing little comments when I was supposed to be busy doing other things from his mother to him about how I was a gold digger and didn't deserve him. I never mentioned it, thinking, first of all, I wasn't supposed to overhear it, and second, I'm sure he'd set the record straight. Why would he do that? He's hearing all the right things from his mommy he never heard. She's so proud of him and his beautiful house. He should get a prettier wife. A year into our marriage, Matt's mom, who had been visiting our home quite often by this point for weeks at a time, brought up moving in with us. Maybe if you were, like, nice. We had an ADU, aka granny flat, unit behind the house, and I knew they were struggling with their house payment, so I agreed to it until they could find somewhere else they could afford. Yeah, something tells me they're not gonna leave. Yeah, they're gonna stay there with you forever. Shortly after they moved in, Matt and I set up a vacation to Maui and asked if his parents could come with us. I wasn't keen on the idea, but he assured me that they wouldn't be staying with us and would do their own thing. Then he told me that we would be paying for it. So in other words, you would be paying for it. Just a family of freeloaders, eh? I reluctantly agreed, telling him that I wasn't going to pay for their food or extra spending, and he agreed. When the day came for us to leave, I woke up late. My alarm clock had been turned off, even though I was sure I had set it. Nobody was home. The plane was boarding at the same time I woke up. What? I frantically tried calling all 3 of them, and each of their phones kept going to voicemail. I had an awful feeling, think Home Alone, and decided to check our Ring camera. What I saw absolutely took my breath away. Oh God, I kind of wish I had a drink right now. All 3 of them were walking out the door, suitcases in hand, laughing and joking about what a great vacation they were going to have without you. Oh, I can't believe the next sentence I just read. Also, Matt's mom even mentioned that she couldn't wait for him to meet another girl that was going. I called my travel agent and found out that they had switched my name on the ticket without my knowledge. In her defense, she didn't know it wasn't me changing the name. And yes, I was charged for that too. Oh my goodness. Ooh. You should never where you eat, what I always like to say. I wasn't as surprised as I expected I should have been. I was more just ready to take action. You moved in the shadows, Dr. Evil. As stated at the beginning of this, the house was in my name and mine alone. I love that you never put his name on the house. You hold all the cards. I immediately contacted my realtor and explained the situation. We immediately got to work. Gotta change those locks. Put all the stuff outside on the lawn. 2 days later, I get a phone call from him profusely apologizing to me, saying there was a mix-up somewhere along the lines and they thought I was meeting them at the airport. By the time they realized I wasn't there, it was too late to turn back. Oops. You actually think that she would believe that? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You all lived in the same house and you didn't think to wake her up before you all left for the airport together? No one would believe that. Not to mention, she's got you all on camera kikiing about how much fun you're gonna have without her. Matt also told me he's sure I've realized by now that he had my credit card to put gas in the car on the way to the airport and charges were no longer going through. Oopsie. That's the only reason he called you, bestie. It's because you're his meal ticket. Or you were his meal ticket. I told him I had no idea what was wrong with my credit card, even though I called and reported it missing, so of course they turned it off. I hung up with him after wishing him and his parents an amazing vacation. I knew he wasn't going to realize that I also contacted my travel agent and canceled the return flights until they got to the airport. How are they going to get home? 2 weeks later, I was at home and I received a call from him in hysterics asking why their flight has been canceled. I told him there must have been some sort of mix-up somewhere along the lines and wasn't sure. I figured since I wasn't there, they could pay for their own way home. He did end up transferring money from our joint savings to cover it, but whatever. The next morning, he called me again, freaking out, asking why they were locked out of the house and wanted to know where I was. I don't know. There must have been some sort of mix-up. I didn't answer his first question, but I told him I was at home. He seemed to momentarily relax and asked me to open the door for him. After going to my front door and not seeing anybody outside, I told him that I think he had the wrong house and hung up. My phone was being blown up by all three of them, mostly him and his mom. I sent them all clips from the Ring camera, which I had saved and sent to my attorney, and the address to the storage unit where I had their belongings moved to when I sold my house. That was great. I loved that.
Satisfying.
3 days after that, I had divorce papers served to Matt at a motel he was staying at with his mom and dad. I've been happily divorced now for 3 years. That was delectable. I can't believe that. My God. What a horrible thing to do. Not you. No, what you did was great. Everyone is praising you in the comments, and I'm going to give you some praise too. That was fantastic, my dear. I'm like really confused about the fact that you sold your house so quick. Thank you for sharing, my dear. Let's all give her a round of applause. God, I love it when freeloaders get cut off. This, my dear, you get an A. Man, I was really hoping you had bought a plot of land and had the house picked up and physically moved there. That would have been satisfying. Imagine coming home from all the self-inflicted debacles of the vacation to find your house gone, just missing. Just that little extra mile. You know, you still got an A. That would have made it an A+.